Hey, this is Jazz Lesson 1. You should have the PDF up on the screen just below me. So today we learnt All of Me by Gerald alongside all the A string 7 chords, except for diminished, but that comes later. We learnt the minor bar chord on the E string, and we had a slight discussion of musical form in a 2-5-1 progression. So, before we begin, let's talk about these A string major 7 chords. So, major 7, it can often, it often looks a bit like this, especially on the next sheet, which is C triangle. I don't know why they do that, but that's just the notation for C major 7. C minor 7, for example, looks like this. So it's got a minus for minor, and then 7 for the 7th side. Finally, dominant 7s, let's see C7, is just the letter and 7. So C major, C minor, and C7. So let's go to the next page. This is what they all look like. So C major 7. So these are all movable chords, if we remember, because they're bar chords. Because our main finger is barring across the top over here. Oh, let's highlight that. So a lot of these look very similar. For example, between major 7 and dominant 7, there's only a 1-note difference, which is this note here moving down to the bar over here. That's because they're both major chords. The 7th is just a semitone lower. Minor 7 is very similar to dominant 7 as well. The only difference is this note moves down to this note, played on your 3rd finger or your middle finger. So we'll go through all of these. Oh, and then we also mentioned minor 7 chords and minor bar chords. Minor 7th chord is quite a hard one to get at first. There are a few different ways you can play it, and I'll be sure to show that right now. So, major 7 looks a little something like this. We've got the bar going across the 3rd. This is C major 7, because we've got C here, and then it's barring across. Then we have the 3rd finger, or the ring finger, on the 5th fret of the D string, our middle finger on the 4th fret of the G string, and then finally our pinky on the 5th fret of the B string. We don't want to play that low E. It doesn't really work with this chord. And remember, this chord shape can move around because it's a bar chord. So, C major. Later in the song we have F major 7. Now, we have dominant 7, which just means we take this finger off, and that's why the bar is important. So we have the bar. If we're playing C dominant 7, I think we play D7 in this song, so we'll be sure to play that. So we've got a bar across the 5th fret. We're not playing the low E string. So this is 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. And then we have, with our ring finger, the D on the 7th fret, and our pinky on the B string 7th fret. And that's D7. And remember, this can move around. And we don't want to play that low E string. Then we've got our minor 7 chord, which is very similar to our dominant 7, just this pinky moves to our middle finger. So that's a bar across the 5th fret. And then we've got our ring finger on the 7th fret of the D string, and our middle finger on the 6th fret of the B string. And then we're barring across. Once again, this can move around, and you shouldn't play the low E string. It just doesn't really work with it. Sounds a bit ugly. I mean, sometimes it sounds cool, but you know what I mean. Then we've got our minor 7 chord shape on the E string, which looks something like this. So we've got on the 5th fret, our middle finger on the E string. And then this ring finger is barring across these 3 strings. So the B, G, and D string. Oh, D, G, and B string. And we don't want to play this top E string. We can play it if we're barring it, but we definitely don't want to play it as the empty. It's actually quite hard to play it like that. And then we don't want to hear anything from this A string. But if that's a bit too hard, which I totally understand, it's a bit of a strange chord, we can just play A minor bar chord instead, which is just a bar chord. So we're barring across every string, so we're including the low E string. And then we're adding, with our ring finger, the 7th fret of the A string. And then with our pinky, the 7th fret of the D string. So those are our 5 chords we did today. This is the song form. This is an iReal Pro structure. So as we said earlier, the C triangle 7, the triangle means major. The 7 by itself means dominant. And then D minus 7 means D minor 7. There are some variations. For example, in the last 8 bars, you'll see it says C minus 6. We just play that as a C minor 7. It's a bit different, 1 note difference. It's not going to make a huge tonal impact. We also don't play this chord over here. What's a good color? We don't play this chord here. E flat diminished. It's a bit, it doesn't really add much to the... Instead we just play. It doesn't add that much, and the tonal quality makes just as much sense. It just reduces cognitive load for everyone. So that's all of me. I'll play that later, and we'll walk through all the chords separately. Finally, here's what I was saying earlier. The triangle equals major 7. 7 equals dominant 7. Minus 7 is minor 7. In the last 8 bars, we have something different. So the practice tips, I would suggest listening to the Ella Fitzgerald version, the New York Jazz Lounge version. This is a really good one to play along to because it's also in C, and it's a bit basic, but I mean it's nice. It's got saxophone, which is nice, and the Billie Holiday version. This was in the TV show Severance, which is out on Apple TV. It's a very, very good show. I suggest you watch this YouTube video here, which you've already completed. Good job. Practice these 7th chords, moving them up and down the neck. So that was our major 7, minor 7, dominant 7. So just a cool trick with all the songs you know already, most of the time, if it's a minor chord, you can just play a minor 7. It will sound just as nice. If anything, I think it'll sound a bit nicer usually. Same with major chords. Sometimes you have to choose between the major 7 and the dominant 7 because both of them have major triads within them. Finally, play along to the end of this YouTube video where I'll have a play along section. And then listen to or you can play along to the New York Jazz Lounge version. Anyway, I'll now teach you those chords. So these are the chords to all of me. We start with our new major 7 chord shape. Why not take all of me? And then we go to E7, or E7 over here actually. So we start C major 7, then we go to A7, and then our new minor 7 shape. So that's C, E, A, D minor 7, then E7, and A minor, or A minor 7, D7, D minor 7, and then we play G, so let's just do that first half again. So, all of me, why not take all of me? And remember those this D minor 7 to G, that's only 1 bar long. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Where everything else is 2 bars. So let's play the second half. So we start with C, E, A7. So those are the first 4 bars of the next second half. So the song structure is an A, B, A, C. So you'll notice that those 8 bars are the same as the first 8 bars. So C, E, A, D minor 7. Finally, we've got the last 8 bars, and these are probably the hardest. So we start with F major 7, which is on the 8th fret, 10th fret, 9th fret, 10th fret, and 8th fret. Sorry, that took me a while. And then F minor 7. So 8, 10, 8, 9, 8. And then we move that down 1 fret to E minor 7, which is 7, 9, 7, 8, 7. So F major 7, F minor 7, E minor 7, and then we go to A7, then D minor 7, G, C, D minor, G, C. So let's play those last 8 bars. All of the chords are 1 bar long, except for the last 2, which are only half a bar long. So F major 7, F minor 7, E minor 7, A7, D minor 7, G, C major. Now, I'm just going to play the chord progression twice, and you can see if you can play along to me. We'll do it at this speed. We'll do it at a slower speed. 1, we'll do it at, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. go again. And to play that last chord, to make it a little nicer, we'll play this shape, which is 3, 2, 2. So 2 and 2 on the D and G string. And it sounds like this. Just to add a bit more flavor, so we do D minor, G major. That's just an extension activity if you want it. Well, thank you very much for watching today's guitar tutorial. Make sure to like and subscribe.